Hi, my name is Anj Motiani, and this is my app, the Commuter Carbon Calculator. I know it's a mouthful. Basically, what I noticed was that a lot of people, regardless of age, don't understand the implications that their daily actions can have on the environment. And what this tool does is focus on one of the biggest parts of our daily lives, our commute, and highlights the various impacts on ourselves as well as the environment. Here's some of the code. I knew nothing about web development, so I had to learn a bit of HTML for this. That took a lot of time. I do know a lot of Python, so that wasn't that bad. But it was a lot of learning new things for me, especially web scraping, because I knew nothing about that. That's a big part of this app, web scraping and APIs and visualizations. So here we go. We have the app running locally. So over here, the first thing it asks is for my home address, and the model year is 2013. So we hit continue. And here we are at the next page. Which trim model is mine. Many different cars have many different trims, and that can affect mileage. That's why I thought this would be a cool feature to add. Essentially, over here, I use web scraping on fueleconomy.gov, and I find out various trims of the car that I specified on the earlier page. And this, not gonna lie, took a lot of time to figure it out, but I'm so glad that I did. So I actually drive the 6-cylinder all-wheel drive version, so I'm gonna type the number 4, and I'll continue my final results. Essentially, one of the first things is the time spent on my commute. I plug in my home address, my work address into Google Maps API, and this is what it returns, 16 minutes. So that's just notifying the user how much time they're spending on their commute. And over here, we can see mobility trends from Apple data, how people's mobility has changed due to the pandemic. This is just letting the user know a lot of external factors affect the way they travel. It's pretty cool. You can move around. Look at this. I used a library called Plotly in Python to create this interactive visualization, and I used Apple Maps data. It takes a little bit more time than other libraries to create this plot, but it's well worth it. The next thing I show over here is the miles per gallon achieved by my vehicle. So I used web scraping on fueleconomy.gov to figure this out based on the trim I selected earlier. I get 21 miles per gallon on my vehicle. It's more fuel efficient than 49% of the cars in their database. And here you can see a distribution plot, KDE plot, of the different mileages of different cars in their database. And you can see where my mileage stacks up right here. And next we have the grams of CO2 emitted by my vehicle for my daily commute over the course of the year. It's a pretty big number. It weighs the same as 57 human beings, the average human being weighing 62 kilograms. So this is just notifying the user that their actions on a daily basis have a direct impact on the environment. And over here we can see how emissions have changed over the course of many years as technology has improved. This data is from the EPA. The general trend is downwards in terms of emissions. That's pretty cool to look at. The next thing we have is the money spent on gas for my morning and evening commutes over the course of the year, which is $873. So I use another API to figure out the national average for gas prices, and I return this number based on how many miles you're traveling. And yeah, 15.7 barrels of petroleum per year, 11 times as much gasoline a year than water a human drinks, which is a lot. And over here, you can see how the prices of natural gas have changed over the course of many years. This is also interactive. We can see different days. We can zoom into now. And time it would take if I biked instead, 48 minutes. So maybe you're getting some exercise on the way. Maybe it's not that bad. You're not emitting 3 million grams of CO2 into the atmosphere. Who knows? This is sort of just letting the user know this is what you could do instead if you wanted to. I did not create this chart. I couldn't find that much data on bike sales data from this year, but I did find this chart online, and I think it's pretty informative. And the last thing is calories burned by biking one way, 377. So this is where I use the weight that was your original input. You're biking, you're getting exercise, you're not emitting millions of grams of CO2 into the environment, you're not spending money. This is sort of an alternative for the user to look at. And the main goal of this is just education. I just want the user to understand the implications of their actions and what the alternatives are. And over here is sort of the call to action. Will you try to carpool, maybe take the school bus, maybe even take your bike, burn some calories to start the morning off with a bang. Thank you for watching.